Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is finally here, and I didn't enjoy it. This game is deceptively difficult, not in a good way. Even on the easiest difficulty, the gameplay can be rather punishing. The on-foot sections are the least problematic. The controls are simple with only basic attacks, a dodge, jumping, and a special move. I felt that the inputs just weren't as responsive, so it was way too easy to get stun-locked by enemies or miss dodges. And other than an upward jump attack and a ground pound, there's not much in terms of attack options without resorting to your special, which thankfully you can cheese by taunting, which fills up your meter. But the Zord sections are the worst. Again, I'm on easy difficulty and I had to switch to that from normal, because these sections were just so frustrating. No way to restore your health. It's RNG whether you get power-ups at some points, and the special meter doesn't even fill when you hit or kill enemies, unlike the ground sections. It only fills when you collect coins, which are few and far between, but what's worse is that if you run out of lives, you have to start over from the top. Worse, on higher difficulties, if you run out of continues, you'll be unable to play the game. I get it's an arcade experience, so it's meant to be difficult, but half the time you can't even telegraph attacks, so you're just unfairly stuck. How would I improve the game? For the Ranger sections, make the movement more responsive. You can run by double tapping, which doesn't always register. I'd make that a separate input, which the game doesn't even take advantage of the shoulder buttons on a controller. Running and other moves also don't work vertically, so the game requires you to run horizontally before moving up and down the screen. And when being knocked away, the ability to use DI or directional inputs a la Smash would be a great feature, as you can control where you land. You can't even do something as basic as remapping inputs. I would add more attack varieties. It doesn't have to be fighting game levels of inputs, but some options like being able to attack out of being knocked to the ground, or separating attacks into punches, kicks, and weapons to give a change of pace. For the Zord sections, having food available so you have the ability to restore health, and making it way less punishing when you lose your lives so you don't respawn from the beginning. And overall, being able to gain more lives as your score increases, because otherwise there's no incentive other than a high score, which isn't even tracked as one of the optional objectives at the end. Being able to telegraph boss attacks too would be nice. Some of the attacks just end up being wonky to counter or not get hit by. With the controls being so unresponsive, it feels impossible to dodge fast enough at times. And I'll say, this game is the framework for being an amazing game, and it's not terrible by all means. There's just a few adjustments that have to be made, stuff that I feel would have been caught in a player testing phase, which I'm not even sure happened here. Overall, I can tell there's a lot of love in the game. The sprite work is amazing, and there's some neat references and callbacks. I actually called the game mid on Twitter, and one of the devs responded, uh-oh. But big props to them, actually. Seems Digital Eclipse is taking the criticisms right on the chin, and are hard at work to try and address them. Now, if only I could get some friends to play the game with.